app for international students new to Melbourne CBD. We want to ask international students a question. Does this scenario look familiar?
Cái này là cái gì ạ? Cái này làm sao để apply vậy? Làm sao để xin việc vậy? Cái này đúng không? Làm sao để xin việc làm?
I'm really sorry, I don't speak Korean.
Vậy giờ làm sao đi kiếm việc làm vậy?
Zane seems to be having trouble with her new adventure here in Melbourne. Let's see her discuss these issues with her new friends.
Nhà mình có tới 5 người nữa, mình có 2 đứa em gái, có ba với mẹ nữa. Ba mẹ mình thì là người Bắc, mẹ người miền Trung, mình có 2 đứa em nhỏ hơn mình.
Okay.
6 tuổi, một đứa thì nhỏ hơn mình 11 tuổi.
Fair enough.
Đứa lớn thì đang học ở đây nè, mới tới đây được có 5 tháng thôi à. Thành ra nó vẫn còn chưa rành gì đường xá gì hết. Thành ra với nó hơi bị mệt, học phải chỉ nó làm cái này, làm cái nọ vậy đó.
The app, yeah.
Đứa nhỏ thì còn lâu mới qua đến đây được, tại nhỏ quá, giờ biết làm sao bây giờ. Thành ra mình phải chờ nó lên tới cấp 3 mới ra đi.
Fair enough, yeah, I know what you mean.
Thành ra giờ có cái app này nè, còn biết đường mà chỉ nó đi làm vòng chơi nè, xong rồi làm cái này làm cái nọ cho nó tự đi, chứ không còn bây giờ nó đi nữa.
Okay, so let's see. Boom.
After Zane expressed her plight that she is finding it immensely difficult starting off her journey as a student in Melbourne, we all started brainstorming ideas to come up with a way to help her.
Zane needs to be able to find places to eat that are easy on the wallet. I hear local businesses in the CBD are always looking for revenue streams. Maybe we could create an app with discounts for her. She also would need to know information about transportation. Also, she had some issues talking with Chris. Maybe we should add a translation function too.
While we were thinking about it, why not have information on how to create a bank account as well? Also trying to find student accommodation, since we could expand and broaden this to other potential international students coming to Australia, so they can organise themselves before travelling to the land of Oz. Since we should consider expanding, why don't we add uni info as well to the mix? That will really get international students interested.
Giang might also want to have an enjoyable Melbourne experience, so why not add types of activities to do in the city and even have an updated events calendar to keep the students in the loop about upcoming events. I know it can be difficult trying to find web pages that promote events online. We could list students' friendly nightclubs with cheaper entry and drinks to have a more enjoyable time.
After our brainstorming session, we decided to put on our thinking hats to further our thinking process, whether it be coloured boas or crowns. The app helps international students and even out-of-town students get a better understanding of Melbourne City by providing them with offers and discounts on restaurants, activities, events, information on universities within the CBD, a map of the city and how the tram system works, affordable housing for students, essentially be a Bible for the students starting their new life in the Melbourne CBD.
The app will be convenient to use with its simplistic touch interface. It's downloaded right onto a smart device, which 100% of international students have at their fingertips. It also has information in regards to the common laws that would be detrimental to international students coming to Australia. Able to gain sponsorship with funding, so it saves costs for us and gives us the opportunity to provide the app for free to students, as that is the biggest seller here, and the app is free for people to download. The app is a compilation of all different types of apps that we are offering. In order to get all the same information as the app we are trying to create, you will need at least 9 different apps, whereas we have them all in one. Once this app is fully developed, we can outsource to other major cities in Australia and even go international to other countries as we expand. Also, having an online forum post within the app to discuss certain topics about locations and uni life, so that they can talk to each other and meet up as well.
It can take a while for this app to get up and running. as there will need to be a development phase with app developers, which will be expensive. Thinking about outsourcing app developer students to create the app for a very low cost or for free, there is an issue with the intellectual property with this method. Strict contracts will have to be made up by our team to make sure these ideas are not stolen and replicated for another company, which is why it's better if we pay qualified developers to create the app and have proposal ready for the third-party banks, where they are more risk takers opposed to the giants such as Commonwealth and ANZ.
Red Hat. The idea seems successful. There's a need for this app and we can figure out how to get this app to come to fruition. The use of translators sounds very great for international students, but getting a translation app working properly would be very expensive based on our codes from Platinum Plus. Gaining aid from sponsorship would greatly help this app with funding, as businesses will see this as a marketing segment to attract students. The app is cheap for students and it is free. There are other apps out there, but not to this extent.
We've decided that we would approach a bank in regards to gain funding, as there most definitely is a market for this app. International students make up over 70% of William English students alone. Imagine other schools. There is really a need for this. Getting the app made professionally would be the best bet because a company would follow its guidelines and keep their integrity to further their own business as well as ours. The app is to be free for students, as the one thing that attracts students are free things. Sourcing sponsorship would also be a way the business makes money, so it's essential to get this sorted.
Using the checklist strategy, we need to identify the guidelines for the app. This keeps us on track with the work that we're doing. We know who the target market is, stakeholders, etc.
The app is targeted at any students who isn't familiar with Melbourne City. This means international students and out-of-town students as well. It will act as a Bible for them. The app doesn't discriminate on any person age, race, sex, or orientation, but a student card will be needed upon purchase when using discounts.
This is an app created by creative thinkers from Platinum Plus. It is essentially a beginner's guide to the wonderful city of Melbourne, which will help them get their bearings and also provide extra information that would otherwise most likely be overlooked, mainly targeted at students.
Platinum Plus have created us a year's time for completion, which gives us plenty of time to get a proposal ready, gain sponsorship, and add new ideas and improve.
The app is to be used only in the CBD of Melbourne City to help students understand the city and how to get all the essential needs, such as housing, transport information, places to visit, and university locations. It will be available on any smart devices.
Because of the need in the market appealing to students that may be struggling to get around.
Using the Scamper thinking tool, we assessed our product to challenge us to think of different ways we could be utilizing our product.
A substitute. No previous apps, however, different apps can be individually downloaded. PTV, Entertainment Booker, Tram Tracker, Google Translate, What's on Melbourne, etc. Combine. Loan payments and getting it paid off, where the solution would be sponsorship for the app, which would be beneficial.
Changes made would depend on the business required and adapting to the marketplace, so continuously changing and improving. We have modified the plans for the app by figuring out what is possible and feasible. The translation component will be the biggest hurdle. We want the app to only be able to produce quality information. So having a translation function that doesn't work properly would be a liability. We know what needs to be done, but we are constantly modifying as we go along with production to achieve a well-structured app.
Target market is not limited to locals in Melbourne. Downloading the app could help them become more familiar with the city. Putting in ads originally within the app could be a potential negative component, meaning we would need to tackle and manage the issue by putting ads only when the screens are loading, so it's not necessarily in the way when using the app.
We have discussed what the opposite of an app is, and what we came up with was a website. If we follow the path of a website, you'd need a constant internet connection to get any information, whereas if you downloaded the app, there are parts of that app that you can use without the need for a constant stream of internet access. So it's not very viable to go down that path of having a website. We've come together again to find the strengths, weaknesses, potential opportunities, and threats our business product will face. It will be convenient for consumers, only a few taps and you'll be on your way. It's very reliable as information is always updated since it is monitored via an off-site location by our IT staff. It's free to use. This strategy is to get the students to download it. It will be the source of local information for easy travel purposes. The app will be compatible with smart devices such as iOS and Android formats. It will also have a translation tool to help with the communication in a foreign country, and will also include information about food and beverage, events, activities, sightseeing, transportation, and even maps to help you on your way.
SWOT analysis, weaknesses. High startup cost. New international student might not know of the app's existence. Could easily be imitated. Other individual apps, such as BTV, What's on Melbourne, may have better features. Threat. Other companies using this idea to create similar apps. Cyber threat, customer privacy. Not many customers using this app, not aware of the app. International student would only use for a short time until they get used to the city.
Opportunities. If this app takes off, we are looking at the possibility to venture out to other cities in Australia, like Sydney or Brisbane, and our ultimate goal would be to go global and reach cities like New York, Tokyo, Beijing, and even Helsinki. This app not only targets international students, it also indirectly targets domestic and out-of-town students too, while also catching the eyes of tourists to the city. We have the ability to create a mascot, which we could use also to capitalize on extra revenue streams such as merchandise, video games. It might even be as big as Hello Kitty.
The app will feature a variety of key elements that we have discussed in this presentation. It will give Zane the ability to feel comfortable living here in Melbourne. It will help potential students properly invest their time into accurately mapping out their lives before coming. The app will hopefully receive its funding from a loan from the bank to get it started. Then as time goes on, more and more businesses will jump on board and provide an extra revenue stream for the business. With the functions the app will have, it will provide a useful tool to keep students interested here in Melbourne with the different activities, events and nightlife here in Melbourne. The app is considered a large-scale project from Platinum Plus, but have quoted us a year and $250,000 to get the app running, which is achievable in our mindset. We have a burning passion to keep our app found running for as long as we can, and believe with the strategies used and our guidelines, we can make this happen.